Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode, our 64th podcast. We are whooping over here. My name is Brian Bacchus, and the crew is here. Let them introduce themselves.
I'm Jamal Smith.
Hey y'all, Tony Bailey Reigns.
You're on 10-second delay.
That is funny.
At least, right?
So, yes, we are here. It's April 14th. One more day before the Dodger game for the, Jackie Robinson Day tickets are tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, so we'll be heading over there. I'll be bringing you some lovely footage after 7 p.m. And now also tomorrow is the last day for you to opt in before your property becomes something that you don't want it to be. We'll be discussing that later. So how's you guys' weekend? I know I went to 2 events. I got 2 at least.
How are y'all?
I went to 1, I guess. Well, no, I went to 2 as well.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
I read the wrong thing when you told me. I said, I'm heading down to Action Altadena. So that was from 10 to 1. I said, oh, man. I thought it was from 1 to 5, so I thought I had some time. Guess not. But hopefully we can get some more information about who visited that, and maybe if somebody is one of our audience members, they can come on and they can talk about it. I went to, where did I go when I came? I actually went to a funeral Saturday, so I didn't get a chance to do anything on Saturday. But I did end up going to the event in Chatsworth, which was very nice. They had a DJ, had a barbecue spot. They was giving away facials, and kids were learning how to do podcasting. They had a professional photo shoot. Of course, I got involved in the fray. And, tell them what that photo shoot is going to come out looking like, because you already know how stupid I am. So,
So what was the actual event?
It was just a family fun day. Come out, enjoy, food, drink. They had a jumper back there for the kids. They had a fitness set up because the guy has a gym over there. So he had boxing and calisthenics, and the kids, from what I saw, the kids were right there having a great time. They had a podcast studio there where they were doing photography, and they were also teaching kids how to do podcasts. So it was a pretty...
So this didn't have anything to do with Altadena or the fire recovery. This was just some event.
No, just some that if you didn't have anything to do and there was nothing, I didn't think there was anything going on Sunday. Plus, there was a friend of mine and she told me, hey, if you want to invite some Altadena, feel free. It wasn't a fundraiser or nothing of the sort. It was just basically come out and have some food. Fun day. And it was fun. It was pretty hot though. But it was nice because the way they had it set up was in like an industrial park. Mm-hmm. So it was nobody's doing business on Sunday. So you know how when you see neighborhood service down there on a mountain and that little business park right there where they have it so you can drive through, donate, or pick up stuff and keep going. Mm-hmm. That's what I've been seeing lately about how the donations places have been. They've been like drive-through spots where you could actually go through, drop off, or pick up and keep it pushing.
Oh, wow.
So
trying to make it fit.
That's how most of them are like. Most of them are like that. I mean, the same situation over there with the 540 West Woodbury. It's kind of a drive-in and, go up to where you need to go and drive out. So all of the little industrial parks have come in handy for these sorts of things. So it's the best thing that they could think of to use it for. That's great.
Cool.
I was waiting on the guy to send me some footage, but that didn't happen. So maybe we'll get some more later. Because, they had a professional photographer. He had his drones out there. And I met the guy who was the head of the nonprofit as well. They actually came to the town hall March 8th. Josiah and this other guy, I forgot his name right now. I met all of them. In fact, my friend that actually did it, I met her. She came up to the town hall as well. So I just run across so many people. I'll be saying, please if I forgot your name or where I met you. I'm seeing this is more people I've ever seen in my life at once, all the time. So I don't know people. And I got a great memory, and I'll remember your name after I say it 2 or 3 times. But now Josiah's name is in my head. I know him. I can say his name now when I see him. He doesn't have. It's not a unique name, because it is. So.
Well, good. Now you
went
remember.
to the fighting the ugly event. Well, how was that, Elaine? You elaborate. We want to know. You gain footage. Send it in. We want to check it out.
Yeah,
let's go over here.
I didn't go to Lomata Park this weekend because I would have had to be there at 9 for landscaping, and Lena's this thing at First AME was the Senior Summit, Eaton Fire Rebuild Senior Summit was at 10 at First AME. So I probably showed up about 10, and there was nowhere to park. I parked way, way down below Howard on Raymond, like by Washington School. And
that's pretty far.
I went up around the block, everything on Summit, everything. It was like all the streets were crowded. There were a lot of people there, but their parking lot is very small because I was just there for a funeral, I think Thursday.
Now, did they have a tent in the parking lot?
They had several. Because they had one place where people could eat. I guess if you were specially invited and registered, there was like a lunch later, the Legacy Summit lunch or whatever. And then there was other tents for vendors, right? So the vendors
Marcus
I got tons of papers and tons of cards and everything, mainly to see. And I was handing out our Ashes to Anthems paperwork and to people that I saw, so that they'd be aware, right? So, but FEMA was there, and a lot of people I've been having meetings with FEMA and Cal OES and SBA recognized me, and we talked and everything. So a lot of those people there. Then there were people from U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, so HUD, SoCal, Etsy Guild. I think that was because the Armory for the Arts will be there, or will be at the Ashes to Anthem, and they were there Saturday. Firebrand, which is a solar, I guess, electric solar power generation. Lawrence Bailey, founder and principal consultant, some kind of consulting. But just tons of people. So I wanted to get cards, and also for NHS, Neighborhood Housing Services of LA County, 40 NHS, I guess it says, Policy and Research Director. They were there, and they had a bigger booth at the front that a lot of people were stopping, talking to them, trying to figure out, what services they could get from neighborhood housing. And then there were people there like San Gabriel Valley Community Land Trust was there, Forever Home, which is consider either donating or selling your property to the house, or why would you donate or sell versus keeping it. They have something Saturday, May 3rd. It's happening in Monrovia, and this is a workshop for it's the 3rd annual Housing Justice Symposium, Recover, Resilience, Resistance, Regeneration. So I'll get that to you, Jamal. I'll scan it in or something. A lot of banks were there, Wells Fargo and a couple others, Preferred Bank. The Disabilities Division for the LA County Aging and Disabilities Department was there. They have something called New Freedom Transportation, where people could learn about transportation. Again, the Armory for the Arts was there. Just to let people know of all the services that they have down in Raymond. And that if you're a nonprofit and need meeting space, they do have meeting space for up to 25 people at no cost to nonprofits. So they were there. Rebuilding Together, City of Angels is what it's called. And so I asked the lady, I said, but your City of Angels, so for LA, she said, we'll help anybody. So we want to make sure people rebuild. I dropped the paper. So yeah, Independence at Home was there, and that's, I guess, really important for the elderly. But you know what? I start cracking up when the people gave me the form because it says, Independence at Home. Are you now 55 or older or a caregiver? And I was like, 55 plus. And I was like, I'm over 55. And so I was laughing because I was like, it's a community service by the health care, SCAN health plan. So if you need any help, if you're 55 or over, or a caregiver of someone 55 or over who is finding it hard to cope, they were there and talk about their services. So I'll make sure that gets scanned in so we can put all these, flyers up on our community section on the website. And so lots of people. It was well attended, I could tell you that, because it was crowded. I never went inside the church to hear the speakers because we do this every day, right? And so I didn't think like, what new information am I going to get that like I could bring here? And then when I looked through this booklet, there is some information in here, but it's all the stuff like what to do after the fires, days 1 through 30, and things that we've been doing for 90 days. So, and I did ask some people as they came out, hey, how was it? Did you find out a lot of new valuable information? And a couple of them did like this. And then one told me no. And I said, well, what? Basically, it's putting the information out there again, but especially to seniors, right? Because we know that a lot of seniors don't have the information or have missed it, but it's what everybody has been either going to, hearing about, sharing, having workshops about on the last 90 days. And so they had it there for seniors. And then after that, I went down to the last weekend, the last Saturday of the Jazzy Jams giveaway for, the young men and the young ladies. And it was a lot of people in and out. So it was really good. And at the very end, it closed at 4. And then yesterday it was until 4. But Jackie did kind of like a thank you recap, and it was really, really nice. And then she is actually going to be part of the Wellness Hub at the Ashes to Anthems event, and have the dresses and tuxedos and suits at that event as well in the hub. Yes. Yeah. So Dr. Nana came because we were up at FAM together, and I told her I was going down there. She was like, oh yeah, I've never met her in person. I said, well, come on. Well, I beelined and went up to the house first. So by the time I got to Paseo, Nana was sitting there talking to Jackie. And so it was great. And she invited her. So Jackie Snell and Jazzy Jam is going to be part of that on the 26th. But that's the recap of the events that I went to this weekend, and what was going on in our neck of the woods as far as those 2 events.
That's awesome. I didn't, unfortunately, make any events. I did. Well,
you're lying.
You never make events with us on the weekend.
How am I?
No. He did make an event. He went out and played golf with some fire survivors.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
But he don't ever want to say nothing about that.
Right.
And one of them is actually
that wasn't a
show.
scheduled. That wasn't a scheduled event. Okay. But I was going to mention that I did play golf, which is what I was going to say. I did not make a scheduled event like people plan to go. I like that we made an announcement on it. But I did play golf with Marcus, cousin Jason, cousin Philip.
Oh, y'all had a family golf day.
Oh, we had,
with a bunch of fire survivors.
Yeah,
not
but
they were. Not that they're not.
But Philip and Marcus lost their crib.
I wanted to make it look more embellished, dramatic, but no, y'all just ruined the whole thing by messing the whole thing up. We're trying to look like good, clean, and wholesome podcast. We're out there doing things, but no, it was a perfectly good lie. It was a perfectly good lie, and you ruined it.
No, but we're gonna let Jamal finish.
That was all I was gonna say.
Family.
Yep. They whooped my behind on the golf course.
They did.
Oh yeah. I'm a terrible.
But you know what? I am really glad to hear that, because your family has taken quite a bit of hits in the fires, right?
Oh yeah.
And so for them to feel like Marcus, Jay, whoever else they wanted to get out together for that family time, because I know your family is also close, and go and do something like that. Like it's so needed as people begin to say, okay, we're at this phase. We've processed this. Exactly. Therapy. We've processed this. We know we're in the rebuild phase. We having permit shenanigans with the county, yada, 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 right? So people have to start getting out and doing something that is something that they love to do, and it could bring a sense of a little bit of normalcy back through therapy, like your golf therapy. So that's super dope that you guys did that this weekend and spent good time together.
And that's all thanks to Marcus. He set it up the weekend before.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was a good time.
You got a haircut or something, didn't you? Because you was shaggy or something like that.
Yeah, finally got a trim up. You can see all this undergrowth is gone.
That's funny.
I'm trying to keep my Crispus attics in check.
Crispus attics.
You know, my Frederick Douglass.
Already.
Hey, Frederick had his
My boy goes, your hair has grown out on the sides already. I said, man, my hair grow fast. I got to get a haircut like every day, but I don't have that kind of time or money to be going to the barber. So if you see me looking a little crazy, you know, my address is, if you want to do mobile setups, I don't mind the donation. Drive out here, give me a haircut, drive back. I'll mention you on the show, push your mobile barbering service, you know, but none of y'all want to step up to the plate. You know, that's all good though, because I know who you are, and I don't want certain barbers that only cut in flat tops, and you know who I'm talking about. Certain dude. I ain't gonna mention no names. Every time I see him, I'm not gonna let. Oh no, I'm not gonna let.
So are we at time of announcements, Jamal?
If we're done talking, I mean, if there's no other stuff we're talking about from last weekend.
There is no other.
I don't have anything else from the weekend.
All right.
We only mentioned the stuff we go to anyway, so.
Yeah, I'll just go over the first few, and we'll pop on back.
Cool beans.
Well, I'll do it this way this time, because I know we're going to be chiming in here and there. Well, tomorrow, everybody, April 15th. Not only is it the tax day, right? But for those who were affected by the fires, the tax deadline has been extended to October 15th. Just a heads up.
It's for LA County. It's LA County. You can wait till October 15th as well. For your personal, not business, but your personal.
Wow. According to what they said on the news, it was specifically those affected, but that's what I heard today. So whatever you say, Tony, you're correct, probably. So if you're LA County, it can go to October 15th. And in addition, we have the right of entry deadline tomorrow. You have to opt in or opt out. Otherwise, what's going to happen, Tony?
So for sure, make sure you either opt in or out. If you do neither, your property is going to be considered a nuisance. Jamal, come back in. It's going to be considered a nuisance. They will go and they will clear it anyway, the Army Corps. However, you will be billed for all of it. It's not like, oh, we're going to go through your insurance and what they give us, you're good. So if it costs them $100,000 or whatever, you will be billed for it. And if you don't pay it, they're going to put a lien on the property. So please.
And you got the whole complete truth right there, not just a piece.
Please opt in or out. But if you opt out, remember, you have to pay for it yourself. You have to get the permitting yourself. Your whoever comes to take the debris away has to be permitted to dump at one of the dump sites. Like, it really winds up being a much bigger hassle opting out than opting in, because we know Eric E.W. Williams tried it and a couple others, and they went back prior to, obviously the deadline, and opted in. And Eric has been cleared already. What was it, about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago? His lot got cleared, I think. And it didn't take long after he opted in, I think because of where they were, over on his side. But it's our understanding that it's a much bigger hassle if you opt out. And the county just confirmed, I guess, that yesterday or day before, that if you do not do either, if you don't opt in or opt out by that deadline tomorrow, and we're assuming, Jamal, and I don't know this, we know the deadline's tomorrow, but is it considered end of day, like 5 p.m., 8 p.m.?
I'm pretty sure it's end of day. They didn't specify, but more than likely it's end of day.
End of day, right? By tomorrow, end of day, because it could be like 11:59 p.m., but we're not sure. I'll check into it too while we're on here. And if you do neither, your lot standing with burn debris will be then considered a nuisance, and they will go in and clear it with or without your permission at that point. But they will bill you for the full debris removal, and if you cannot pay it, they will attach a lien to your lot, to your property. So please don't do that. You're trying to hold on to it and think about how you rebuild or whatever. You don't want to lose it and have a lien attached to it because you choose not to opt in or out and they don't know, and then they have to do it themselves.
Yeah, so take heed, folks. In the
interim, because when they first were talking about it, it was 170,000.
Yeah.
So you might get stuck with that number that they were mentioning to begin with.
Yeah. So we had a lot of talk about or conversation about what it's actually going to cost, but then we also had theories that it was going to be based on the amount of insurance that you had. Do we have any info on what it will specifically cost, or if it is specifically related to the amount of insurance either you have or the collective?
Oh, excuse me. I almost said something. So they're going to bill your insurance, and whatever you have for debris removal is what your insurance will pay to them. Mm-hmm. So some people I know have 17. A neighbor told me he had 69,000. Somebody I know said they have 30. So I guess what they do is bill your insurance, and whatever your insurance is, it gets assigned to Army Corps, and that's all it is. I know you're not supposed to pay additional to that during this whole process. So I think they're going to recoup their money because, at first we heard it was 170, then we heard it was 100, then we heard, it's only going to cost 80. Then I think the last I heard was somewhere between 60 and 70. So who knows what it really costs to clear these lots. And it might also be, I'm assuming, this has not been said by anybody else, so don't take it and say Tony said. This is Tony assuming that not only would it be based on what your insurance has, but also based on the size of your lot. Right? Because every lot's a different size. True. So I don't think there's just a one size fits all amount that it would cost if your lot's 7,400 square feet and my lot's 15,000, right? Square feet. Obviously, bigger lot, bigger footprint of the house, different size houses. I'm sure it's based on number of factors, but whatever that amount is, I would hate for anybody to get stuck with the bill that they can't pay because they chose not to opt in or out. I really hope that people get this information and do one of the two and really opt in. That's probably the quickest and easiest way to get it done.
Yep.
Oh, and then when I was up there Saturday, another thing having to do with the lots being cleared. Now, this is not, they told me Friday and we discussed it again Saturday. And I actually stopped yesterday and asked somebody else, but they were spraying that green stuff to keep the dust down after they clear the lot and grade it. Mm-hmm. But what they're
doing, keep weeds away too?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I didn't ask that, but I know it's to help the lot like stay okay and keep the dust and stuff from, if it blowing or whatever. But they are now draining pools. And so when I was up there Friday, they said that General Kelly left. There's a new general here. Not that anything happened because General Kelly is still over all of it, but he has to go to other things or whatever. So there's a new General Kelly who's kind of new general who's boots on the ground or whoever he is. I think it's another general, probably less ranked than General Kelly. But either way, what they're doing now is if you have a pool or a spa, and they clear your lot, they're also draining the pools and spas, which makes so much sense because it's a bed of larvae of mosquitoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
They
regardless
told
of
me that on Saturday when I went up there. I was talking to the Anvil people, and they said, "Yeah, we're going to drain your pool. We're going to clean this, but you're going to do the 360 first to tell us what you're not, what you don't want us to do." And then, but they're still going to drain the pool.
But they're draining it. So I asked them about that process, and they said, "We're going to put the pump in. We're draining it in the street." And I said, "Oh, that works," because Altadena basically flows downhill, right? There's not too many flat streets, and if there are, hopefully they'll get it pushed to where something goes downhill. But so then I asked, well, what about people that their lots have been cleared, but their pool and spa are still full of water? And I got
crickets.
They don't know.
So they're just now implementing
this week. As of, let's see, I talked to them Friday. I think they said Wednesday. So things are changing because they're listening to what Altadena is saying, right? And so it just got changed Wednesday or Thursday. So now if you have a pool or spa, they will pump it out, and it's just going to flow into the street and down whatever street you're on, right? To go downhill. So that's good. Instead of just leaving all that standing water that, you know, has algae and getting worse and has ashes and mosquito larvae and all that kind of stuff. And then the last thing that I will probably have to say, because we talked about it last week, and I just want to do a quick follow-up, is the mail. I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago, and maybe last Tuesday when our town councilwoman was on, Melissa. As of Saturday the 19th, this coming Saturday, if you still have not forwarded your mail to where your temporary residence or something is, please go get a P.O. box and forward it, because you can only continue going to the Lincoln Orange Grove Post Office through Saturday the 19th. After that, you cannot go pick up mail there. And I was at the lot Saturday, came by, and she remembered me in my car and wanted to say hi to my parents. So I took a little video and, you know, sent it to them. But she said, please remind anybody, if they have not forwarded their mail, they can no longer go pick it up from that post office after the 19th. So this coming Saturday.
So, Corey, just to let you know, I lived at a house with a pool, and that was the first question I asked at the very first town hall they had at New Revelation back in
Everybody
January.
asked about it.
Exactly. And they didn't have a clue as to what they were going to do at that time. First, they said they were going to put a fence around your pool. Then they said they were just going to clear the debris out of the pool and leave the pool. Now they're saying they're draining the pool. So they actually did all three of those. They marked you as red if you only needed a certain thing. And then you ended up getting a fence. Then the next time I went up there, all the debris was cleared out of the pool. And now they're going to drain the pool. So
they're still going to put a fence around it too.
Yeah.
Right.
If you go to the FAQ section, I know. If you go to the FAQ section of the recovery.lacounty.gov, that's one of the questions. And I mean, based on the conversation we're having now, this probably wasn't the response that was there originally. That was modified to be updated today, or over time continually was updated. But I mean, that's one of those things we talked about from the get-go, is that this was going to be ever changing, for the good and the bad, but things are just going to, never be just straightforward from the get-go, because this is all new. Everybody's kind of figuring it out as they go along.
As we go. Yeah. It keeps changing and iterating. But I think what is so important is all of the workshops, all of the forums, whether it's here, whether it's at the park and we're landscaping and they ask us, like they asked me last week, how do people feel about it? They're asking questions, they're listening, they're taking it back, and then things are changing, right? And that's kind of what it has to be, because there was no ready, fire, quick, rapid recovery plan fully in place. They had a shell, but it wasn't all filled in. So I'm thankful that they're listening at least, and some things are changing, some things are taking longer than others, but we're not rebuilding tomorrow. So there is a little bit of time to have those changes happen.
No doubt.
Well, I just want to say something real quick. Original Underground Media is joined. That's my boy Brandon. Today is Brandon's birthday. He turns 50 today. So I just want to give a shout out to Brandon for turning 50. I thought you was younger than that, but because you look 35, bro. What's your secret?
That's it?
That was it.
Oh, all right.
I moved it because it was hiding your face, so I removed it.
I like hiding my face. I'll be like,
Okay,
look.
leave it up then.
So, as we were made aware at the end of the show last week, there's an update. There are updated hours for the disaster recovery centers. Now they're going to be open from 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Again, that's at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. And then the one-stop shop for the permit centers still at 464 West Woodbury Road, Suite 210. As of now, still Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6. And Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1. This is for walk-ins. And should you want an actual appointment, appointments are available Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9:30 to 12:30, as well as Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And you have to go to recovery.lacounty.gov/rebuilding/1-stop-permit-centers to go ahead and schedule that. And as I indicated last week as well, or the week before, there's nothing left for April. You have to go into May, and it's very likely that you may have to go into June in order to schedule your appointments because they're being booked pretty quickly. So jump on that if you want that appointment.
And just remember, both of those places are right next to each other.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Virtually
540
right
and 460, literally 10 steps, 20 steps away.
Yep, absolutely.
I think
go ahead.
It's important to note too, though, that I would say if you're not sure, like if you have a builder, if you have an architect, if you have a contractor already.
Uh-oh.
We also probably don't want people to just go in there and be making appointments and take up the resources that might be for somebody that really needs it. Because if you've already talked to and maybe signed with an architect or whatever, they're the ones that would deal with the permitting, all of that. Because a lot of people think, oh, I got my person, but now I got to go do my permits and now I got to go do a consultation. No, you don't. Like, this is what their job is. This is what you're paying them for. You don't also need to go over here, right? And your architect, builder, design builder, whoever should have all the latest information so that they're able to tell you everything you need to know. And you should have a really good, close working relationship with them. If not, look at some other folks possibly. But I think a lot of people are confused, have been very confused, thinking that they have to go do this first, talk to their person, and then they have to go to the permitting office. And when you hire someone, you don't have to do any of that. You should be dealing back and forth with them, and they should be dealing with the planning commission, the permitting, all of that. So I think that's just important to note, right? Because otherwise people think they have to go and do all of these things. And because in red, it says, attention homeowners affected by the Eden fire. People are thinking anything for anyone affected, they have to go and do. And you don't have to go over there and have a consultation with them unless you don't have anybody, you don't know what's what. Because it says obtain entitlements and permits, schedule inspections, obtain certificate of occupancy. You don't have to do any of that. That's what the person you hire is hired to do.
Yep. All right. The next one, we have the Altadena Community Meeting, which is today, 4 p.m. to 5. This is the regular weekly meeting. You can actually get information more, or you can actually go to the YouTube channel for this. It's at County of Los Angeles Newsroom. And when you go there, you can go earlier and you can actually click to be notified when it actually starts. This is, again, the weekly thing by Kathy Barger. And she kind of gives an update. So that's there for you. And that's it for this section. You guys want to... Let me take this off.
And we're back for more excitement. So this is going to be like a busy week. We got, did we even promote the event yet? Or you still got that on the list?
I still have it.
26th.
Yeah, I can just go straight to it if you want.
Tony, you want to talk about that now, or you want to?
Yeah, that's fine.
James. There we go.
Ashes the anthem. We're gonna do a benefit concert and resource fair at the Memorial Park in Pasadena.
So we will definitely be there. I have to actually, when we get off this in a bit, call Keisha. She texted me yesterday, and we're going to have some conversations today. I'm going to talk to her about our podcast booth and all of that. But this is happening April 26th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Memorial Park in Pasadena. Not just the park and the amphitheater, but surrounding streets, I believe, like Holly, will be blocked off because there will be a concert. The headliner is Andra Day, and Guapale will be there. She is confirmed. Travis Green is confirmed. Those three were at liberty to say today. They're spoon feeding us like, oh, it'll be this in a couple days. Because also we don't want to tell everybody that's going to be there and people just come out for this concert and not for all of the other stuff, because this literally is for the community. We're hoping to have anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 or 6,000 people show up. I've got to call my buddy who works for Humboldt Industries. They're going to be providing meals. There are also other food trucks that will be on site. There will be a children's hub and a zone for just the kids. There is going to be a health and wellness hub. There will be a builder's hub with a lot of the builders. Hold on one second. Hey, this is Antoinette. Can I call you right back? I'm on a call.
We have a caller calling in for some information regarding the concert.
Okay.
That was just Guapale confirming.
It was the Air Force. I got to call them back, but I'll call them back in a few. I told her, give me like 10, 15 minutes. But the concert is going to be in the amphitheater part, and there will be music all throughout the day and the night. But there's a lot of events. It's kind of like a welcome home or welcome back to the area as everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Because everybody is still displaced all over the place. So we just want to make sure that people feel are able to see one another, are able to hug on one another, are able to have all these resources in one place. The same FEMA, SBA, Cal OES, insurance. There's, I think, going to be probably attorneys and insurance people there. If you have questions, nobody is for you to sign up or be bothered by. And then there's the Builders Hub. There will be builders that you can talk to. There will be banks. We did talk to Wells Fargo the other day, and there's several others that will probably be there. So if you need funding or anything like that, apparently I'm having some difficulties. Maybe I have too many windows open.
Your sound is perfect though, so keep going.
Okay, cool. I just was looking kind of robotic, but it's all good. And so yeah, it's going to be a really, really, really good event for the for the community. That and if anybody wants any other information, they can go to www.ashestoanthems.com and look at the website and get any more info that you think you want to learn about the event or that day. So we're really hoping to, if anybody wants sponsor information, I can give you that. If you want to be a sponsor or have a booth, if anybody wants to volunteer for it, I can give you that as well. So just, ping us on AltadenaTalks or Tony at AltadenaTalks.com. I can send those links, but it's going to be a pretty amazing day. Just hope we have really good weather. Not too hot, not, cold or anything like that. Hopefully April 26th will be a great day. And we're really looking forward to seeing the community come out and be loved on and get information about all the resources that are available. Still.
Yeah, it's looking like, or it seems like it's going to be a really, really, really good event. It's going to be
really good
pretty
show.
well
Really
attended.
good show.
Absolutely. A little Lawrence Welk in there. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Was Ed Sullivan.
Was it Ed? I thought it was Lawrence. Maybe it was.
It's really good show. A really good show.
You're right.
He always looked like he was cold. The studio's a little cold.
We will most definitely be there as the podcast. I am also going to be on the main stage as a moderator throughout the day.
You can be running things, folks.
And then the Land Legacy Project we will discuss there as well. So it's going to be I think it's going to be an amazing day. And look
And you
forward
said there's going to be giveaways and everything too?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. There will be giveaways and all kind of really neat stuff. So definitely looking forward to that day. It's going to be a very long day. Because those of us from Victory have to be there. They haven't told us our call time yet. It may be 7 or 8 in the morning until it's over at 9. So probably till 10. So I may have to go midday and do one of those power naps in my car, put the seat all the way back and lay back for like 30 minutes or something, because, we'll have shifts and we can do that. But it's going to be, I think, a really, 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 really amazing day.
Well, I'll be there with you all the way up until about 10:30. And then we have to dip out for about an hour and then we'll be back. So.
In the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as soon as I get the call time, I'll let you guys know. And then we'll have to figure schedule out between the three of us, because there will be times where I'm not at our podcast booth at all because I'm on the main community stage doing the moderating. So we definitely need to figure out, what the three of us are going to do and how we're going to run things so that,
I'll be there most of the time. So just bring me a plate or something, because, I ain't going to be able to leave.
I will, because, I'll do that as I need to walk from the stage or whatever. But they definitely asked us to be there because it will be live streamed. But they also wanted our podcast to be there because they know we have another audience and it gets, that much larger. And then we can also have a record of it on YouTube, although Victory has its YouTube page, but we can have a record on our page as well. And people
there'll be two different points of views.
Exactly. And they asked us to interview people as they're leaving from different hubs hubs or whatever, or as we walk around and at our booth and things like that. So, I know I have to talk to Keisha today, and I'll probably get some of those answers, B and Jay, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Sure. Well, this is going to be an amazing event, but we do have to give even airplay to everything that's going on in the area. So also on this same day, there is the Dina Give Back, which is the same day from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So you have time to go to this. You can pop out to the Ashes to Anthems and get a lot of stuff done. There's going to be raffles and a giveaway. It's going to be new shoes, new athletic wear, Stanley Cups, food, water cases, and gift cards. And it's going to be at Holy Assembly Church of God in Christ at 55 East Villa Street in Pasadena. Volunteers are encouraged to sign up at cityboysgivebacks.org. In addition, there's one more event that we have. It is the Dina First Aid Day. This is put on by the Brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
That's why it's first like that. Okay, Phi.
Ada Pi Lambda chapter. Yeah, that's why it's first.
Because I kept going, why is it first like that? I didn't know until now I see it, and I'm like, oh, no wonder it's Alpha Phi Alpha. Yeah.
That messed my head up just now.
This is from 10 to 3. Again, on the 26th at Jackie Robinson Park Rec Center at 1081 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. So definitely got a whole lot of things to do on the 26th. So participate in as much as you can, in all three of them if you can. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day because that's 10 to 3. The other's 12 to 4. Ours is 11 to 9. So they all overlap. And people that are far can literally plan to come and be in Pasadena all day and hit up all these spots.
That's all in the vicinity.
Right. Jackie Robinson right there.
The Villa spot.
Where's
that's
that?
55. So that's probably Fair Oaks or Raymond.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's right in there too somewhere.
Yeah.
And so right there, and then go just below
Raymond and Walnut.
Exactly. So that's super.
You can dang near walk.
Darn near.
Yeah, it's on right there, like you said. It's not far from La Estrella. So Villa and Raymond, literally.
Yep.
So everything is right there. They can just come to Pasadena that day, 10 a.m., plan to be there. And after getting giveaways and all that,
Don't plan to be moving your parking spot. You might as well park someplace and walk to each one.
Well, no, that's hard. You could do the Jackie Robinson and Villa together, maybe. But then to go down
Villa and Raymond is right down the street from Walnut. It's just across the freeway.
Yeah, you just got to go across the freeway.
Yeah, but who are you talking about doing this? Young folks,
everybody who can.
From Pasadena, they're gonna be out there in their wheelchairs and they hover around and be like, "Yeah, what's happening? I'm going to this event."
I cannot with the wheelchairs and hover around. Anywho, yeah, those 3 events that day are going to be really, really good for the community, and hopefully people come out and get everything that they need, right, from all 3 of the places, and be fed and physically, spiritually, mentally, all needs met hopefully that day for a lot of people, and the resources that are going to be out as well. That's super important.
True indeed.
Yes, it is. We are going to have a funky good time.
Oh, but we won't be able to cover the other 2 events because if we're at Ashes to Anthems, anybody that goes live and takes stuff, we could probably repost it, but we won't be able to go to those because they all overlap.
I think the Alpha one, that's part of Scott's thing, right?
Nah, Scott is a Kappa.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Scott's a Kappa.
We'll find somebody to shoot us some footage of it.
See,
I'll ask my daughter.
Somebody I know who's an Alpha. He might be part of it.
And those are really good friends of my daughter's. And so, especially the Dina one is one of her buddies that brought a lot of water and stuff to us like that first few days after. Mm-hmm. And so she, matter of fact, was like, "Here, Mom, make sure you talk about these 2 events," because she's an AKA, so she knows all of them, and they do a lot together. So she may wind up going to those events, and if she does, I'll ask her to get some footage for us because we could do that on that recap on the 28th.
Yeah, because she's a great cinematographer. After catching them fires up there, I saw her footage. It was like right here inside the fire.
Yeah, she was driving down the street and all of that going, there. But yeah, so I'll probably ask her to take something as she goes to those events because she'll probably come out. I think the AKAs are helping with one of them or something because they're also the Lambda something chapter for Pasadena, Altadena Pasadena. So I think they're doing something with them. If possible, I'll just say, hey, if you go to either of those events, get us some great footage. We'll, recap it on Monday. And then I know she'll come down to the concert. So this is what Pastor John has been clowning people about, saying, and I think he said it on here. He said, "All right, all you saints that act like people can't party to secular music, y'all come during the daytime." And everybody else is probably going to show up at night, right? Because we are, Andre Day, Goapale, but these people love God. So it doesn't matter. And whether you secular, gospel, or whatever other artists. And I think there might be some country. I think there might be some rock. I'm not sure because I'm not on that committee. But this is for the whole community. So they are trying to do some things and have artists that will be for literally everybody, right?
That's nice.
So,
they're going to have Otis Redding Jr.?
I don't know, bruh. But we just got Travis and Goapale yesterday, right? Because he has only been allowed to share that. We knew it was Andrew first, but but then he's like, I'll share more as I can. And the team is over there looking at him like, yeah, you better keep your mouth closed until we say. So they're doing the trickle, right? Because that's how you do news channels and stuff. They feed you a little, they drop a little bit more, then you get more and more excited. So it's going to be a big concert just because, like I said, Pastor John is a producer. He's also Andrew's pastor and one of her producers. She goes to our church. And he has connections literally globally, right? With people, music, whether it's secular, gospel or not. So he's making some calls to his friends and folks. And so they're coming in to do the concert. So I'm super excited. I was just on the website a second ago and I hadn't seen this before, but I just
sneaking in the update.
Well, because I went to it right now for the first time. The Ashes to Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And it says RSVP. Yeah, so Oh.
Or do you want me to share mine?
You got it up too?
Yeah.
Okay, you can share it. That's fine. But when I said contact me if you want to be a sponsor or RSVP, don't contact me. Go to www.ashesforanthem.com. If you scroll down below that, it has ways you can help Dina rise, donate to rebuild, become a sponsor, align your brand with this movement. Keep going down. Register to volunteer, right?
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Or RSVP for the concert. It says get tickets. So this is the first time that I saw anything about tickets, and it says, okay, good. When you click there, it says register now or volunteer application. So I hadn't heard anything other than this is a free event for the community. And somewhere on it, it said there's a limited amount. Free tickets are limited. Register early to confirm your concert seats before we sell out. So I don't know about that part, you all. I will say that because I had never heard that anything cost. But right now, it's being updated, consistently, and it has Andrew Day, Travis Green, Go Apple, and then others to be announced soon. So on the get your ticket part, I clicked on register now. There's no price.
You just register as a corporate sponsor, nonprofit, construction, or whatever.
Well, no, this part right here, existing user or new registration, that's for the actual tickets. But then the other piece is that volunteer sign up. We still need volunteers. We're looking for 200 to 300. So if you think that your heart aligns with this and you want to come out and volunteer, please register to volunteer. And then that RSVP for the concert where it says get tickets, you can register. I don't know if later there'll be a price or not. There is a donate now button that will take you, and it says there's two things under that. Hold Dina, which is the Altadena wildfire relief, which is to make sure that renters and homeowners are granted anywhere from $100,000 to $350,000. And then there's a student loan debt relief program as well that I did not know about, but that is now one of the options. So they're adding as things are happening. And then the become a sponsor, if you click on that, it's going to take you to a contact form to email, and you can talk to them about becoming a sponsor for the event as well. So yeah, that's a good website. And I know Brian put it up already, and it's on all the channels. And there it is again. But ashesToAnthems.com for any additional information that you may have. Questions that you may have, not information, I'm sorry. And you could share it on your socials if you want to, anybody.
Yeah, we will definitely do that. Got two more things to talk about before we finish with the announcements for today. One of which was James Farr's event. He came and talked about it last week. It is Wednesday, April 16th. You're invited to our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall, the Altadena Eaton Fire 100 Days and Counting. It is from 4 to 6, and you would just register at kbla1580.com in order to participate in that. And you see the list of people there. I don't know if you guys can see it specifically. Let me enlarge it. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Anyhow. And then the next one is this Easter Family Fun Day. This is actually going to be this Saturday, the 19th, from 12 a.m. It says 12 a.m. It's 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. 175
midnight.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to do it
midnight.
Maybe they're trying to do it overnight. I'm not sure, but you actually register at AltadenaTalks.org/Easter Family Fun Day. We had to create a short link because it was definitely a long, convoluted link to get there. But there's going to be food, music, games, gifts, and more. So definitely attend that. So
that looks fun.
Yeah, it should be.
For those of you who see that, AltadenaTalks.org/Easter Family Fun Day. All lowercase, no spaces.
Make it easy for them, because some of those are really, really hard.
I know.
With the uppercase, lowercase, dashes, letters, numbers.
No rhyme or reason.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, true indeed.
Well, we're
And
coming
thank
up
you
on the
for
last
always
5 minutes of our show, so we got some things we want to talk about, wrap up, because we're trying to keep it to where everybody can see it. Some people drop off on Instagram, some people drop off on other ones we got. We just want to make sure you got the information.
Absolutely. What'd you say, Tony, at the end?
I said, thank you so much for always doing that, Brian, and shortening those links and making them more digestible and easier for people.
Oh, yeah, because, even I get confused when I'm trying to look at what he says. Uppercase this, lowercase, throw your back out, walk over here, climb the pole, shoot the arrow.
What?
There was a comedian that would... There's a comedian that used to be, when the old people would be dancing, he'd be in the corner calling out the dancers. Okay, wind it up. Shoot the arrow, kill the roach, jump on her, jump back off of her. Like, what kind of dancing y'all doing?
Alrighty. And that must mean it's about time to wrap up.
You know it, because when the comedy starts coming out, we got to shut it down, because that's going to be another thing. AltadenaTalks Comedy Hour. We're going to be looking for you to come in on Throwback Thursdays to tell your most memorable moment of something funny that happened to you in Altadena.
Well, I hope somebody actually comes on. We keep offering them the opportunity to share and join the show, but maybe this will get on.
I'm gonna start calling people and saying, man, I got you on air on the show. People want to know why you so funny. Like, I need Dwayne Gunnels to come on the show.
Oh man, I remember he used to kill folks. Man,
without cursing.
Yeah, he used to kill them.
That would be like asking Huck, Mike Harrison, to come on.
No, Huck can't stop cursing. See?
Exactly.
He has to learn how to just bleep himself.
No, you know what? I was on something with him not too long ago, and he did really well. Super intelligent, articulate.
No, he's definitely intelligent.
Oh yeah, he's super intelligent.
Well, him and E-Dub go at it all the time over all kinds of stuff in his little group. It's fun.
Right. But
it usually boils down to Mustangs and Bulldogs too, at some point.
Well, Huck should have been a Mustang. He over on our side every turkey tussle.
Well, everybody was in the same schools up until they went to high school, and then they had to split up.
He just was upset because they didn't win during his years.
Yeah, shit happens sometimes. I mean, stuff happens sometimes.
It did happen. They didn't win during my years there until the last year. So
my freshman year, they tied. So class of 84.
Yeah, Trey Jolly is another one. He kind of let you go.
Really doesn't matter because we have the major winning record. They have 20 some odd wins to our 60 or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we had this discussion with Jackie Snell Saturday. We were explaining Altadena and Pasadena to Dr. Nana. And of course it got on our schools. And I said, but you can't not be from here and talk about us, right? And do all this. I said, because it's rival. I said, and really, if you're Eagle or Viking, you don't count. So we don't pay you no mind. No. But
Sharon, if you're an Eagle or Viking, you don't count in the conversation for Pasadena.
And so
remember Brian told him to back down last time. Remember Marshall? He said Marshall and Blair back down.
Right. So we were just saying all that, right? And she was cracking up laughing. And we said, but no, really, all of us, we went to different high schools, but grew up, from kindergarten on up at some point with somebody. And then I talked about the infamous, awesome McWilliott, the one year that we were only 8th grade, and all that. And so she was like, oh my God, this is such history. And then Jackie was talking about, yeah, but I said, now look, we're always better in football, water polo, tennis. I said, I'm used to be killing in track. Lately, we've been kind of whacking track, but
you used to be killing in basketball too.
We had basketball for the most part.
For a minute, no. HS has always been better in basketball than us. We have had.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Except
not always.
86.
I said for the most part. I didn't say always. I said for the most part. We can't touch HS in basketball like they can't touch us.
Not in the last 20 years.
No. So then Jackie was like, no, we better in. I said, girl, if you don't go sit down, I said, y'all win a sprinkle of turkey tussles, 1 or 2, then nothing for 6 or 8 years. Then we come back and let you have
or
one.
20.
Exactly.
You said a sprinkle.
So now it's a sprinkle. Yeah, it's like a little bit, right? We call it a day. So, Eagles need love too. Okay, Marcus, you're right. We love y'all. Not that.
No, there's love.
Marcus
went to
part of
Marcus went to Marshall.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, what's y'all colors? Red, white, and blue?
Yep.
America's team.
He said America's team. But anyway, all right. Well, it just ended on.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. We fight amongst ourselves. Somebody come on outside. Hey,
oh,
say,
no.
Baby, you're outsider. You can't
Dina
even
standing together.
And that's just how it is if you're in the military. We talk about each other like dogs from branch to branch. But baby, if you're not military and you try to get in on it,
ain't gonna happen.
Not gonna happen, right? So same thing for Dina. And no matter where you are all over this globe, you run into somebody and it's all love. So yeah.
And you will band together. It don't matter if you black, you white.
Hello.
Somebody try to jump you. I'm from Europe.
Oh, right. On and cracking. And the eagle. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
that's the red, white, and blue, right?
Yeah. I got a couple phone calls I have to return. So I'm going to say toodles.
All right. I think we're going to be getting off anyway. All right.
Yeah, we are. So we're going to go ahead and thank y'all for being on the show. We appreciate you. Every week you come in, every day.
Always.
So more power to everybody doing what they do. And keep your head up, like Tupac would say. And we're going to take you out on that note. So peace out, y'all.